Hi boys, let's start a new chapter. It's called GST, which is basically a short form of Goods and Services Tax. Now, before I start solving question, let me just give you a small background. Now, GST was introduced in our country, I think, a couple of years back, 2 years back or 3 years back. What is GST? It's a tax which government charges on goods as well as on services. So goods would be anything that you buy. For example, if you buy shoes or mobile or dal or or rice, you pay, or any other thing that you buy which is a good, you pay some tax on it. Services, which means entertainment, which is if you go for a music concert, or if you go for a movie, or another service would be, let's say, AC repair. Another service would be maybe a saloon. So these are services and these are goods. Government charges tax on it, so that the government has some revenue which the government spends on infrastructure for a country. And for example, right now the money which is being spent on taking care of COVID patients comes from many of such taxes which the government collects. Prior to 2 years back, the government had different kinds of taxes. For example, service tax was separate, it was charged at a separate rate. Sales tax was separate, excise was a separate tax, VAT was a separate tax, and there were a couple of more other taxes. Now, 2 years back, the government decided that we will do away with everything and we'll have a new tax which is GST. So this tax is for all the products which are there and services. Now, there are two types of GST. First, interstate, and the second, intrastate. Now, what does it mean? Well, basically, intra would mean something which originates in one state and stays in that state. That's what intrastate would mean, which means it originates, let's say, starts in Maharashtra and stays in Maharashtra, right? Or sale happens in Maharashtra. Now, what does it mean start? Which means the manufacture happens in Maharashtra. So it is manufactured here and it is sold here. This is an intrastate. Now, in this case, there are two components to this. One is the CGST, which is Central GST, Goods and Services Tax, and the second component is SGST, which is State GST. Now, what does it mean? It basically means that if the tax is being charged, 50% of the tax goes to the central, which is the center government, and 50% of the tax charged goes to the state, which means they share the tax exactly in half and half. So how is the tax charged? Let's say there are different, so 50% goes to center and 50% goes to state. So that's intrastate. And what would be the other one? Well, the other one obviously is interstate, which we talked about. Now, as the name suggests, manufacturing in state 1 and sale in state 2. So in this case, manufacturing happens in state 1. Let's say it happens in Maharashtra and it is sold, let's say, in Gujarat. So this is interstate movement of good or services, and that's why it starts in one place and ends at the other. In this case, there are no two components. There is a single component which is called IGST, which is integrated GST. Now again, even integrated GST, there are two components to it. The government will give some part of the tax to, so the center will keep some part of the tax and some part of the tax will go to the destination state, which is the state where the sale happened. Now, why am I telling you all this? This is not really relevant for your questions, What is most important for your questions is the fact that IGST is charged only when interstate transfer happens, and CGST and SGST is charged when intrastate happens. So that's something that you need to remember. Intrastate, which means starts in one state and ends in the same state, it is shared half and half between center in the form of CGST and state in the form of SGST. Interstate, where it starts in one place and ends up in the another place, then there is a component which is IGST, which is integrated GST. Again, integrated GST goes to the center and center shares some part of it with the destination state, in this case the state where it is sold. Let's look at some kind of questions. Before I go on to questions, this chapter is probably the easiest chapter in grade 10, probably. This chapter can be attempted by anyone from grade 7 or below, anyone who understands how to calculate percentage. The whole chapter is basically nothing but percentage. So let's look at some questions. It'll help you understand what we're talking about. So let's look at question. I am on exercise 1A and I am on question number 1. So let's look at the question. Question says, for the following transaction within Delhi. So I will highlight the keyword. It is within Delhi. So what kind of GST are we talking about? Yes, since it says intrastate, so it is within Delhi, which means we are looking at CGST and SGST. Perfect. So MRP of a product is given as rupees 12,000. The discount percentage is given as 18%. So we need to calculate the discount in rupees. So discount is 18% of what? Yes, the 18% of MRP. So 18 upon 100 into 12,000, 0 goes, 18 into 120, which is rupees 18 into 12, 8 to the 16, 36, 8, 1, 6, 8, 3, 1, 2, 1, 6, 0. Is this correct? No, GST is 18%. So I've read the question wrong. GST is 18%. This is not 18%. So that's my mistake. I should be reading the question more carefully. Right? So this is the only way you can lose marks in this chapter, if you're careful. Otherwise, there is no other way that you can lose marks in this chapter. So let's look at it. The discount is given as 30%. So they want me to calculate the discount. Well, discount is 30% of what? 30% of MRP, which is 00. 12 into 3, that's 36. So that's 3,600. So the discount is 3,600. What is the selling price? Selling price is the discounted price. So selling price will be MRP minus discount. So the originally it was priced at 12,000 rupees, but the person who was selling it ended up giving a discount of rupees 3,600. So this will be equal to 8,400. Next part, CGST. So CGST is equal to what? And there is a second part which is SGST is equal to what? And IGST is equal to what? So before I go to CGST and SGST, let's calculate IGST. Now I said if it is intrastate, is there any IGST being charged? No. So integrated GST is 0 because only CGST and SGST is being charged. Now the GST rate is given as 18%. So if the total GST is 18%, how is it shared between the state and the center? Yes, I said it is shared 50% of the total, which means this will get 9% and this will also get 9%. I'm repeating, if the total GST is 18%, the center gets half of it, which is 9%, and the state gets half of it, which is 9%. So 9% of the MRP. No, not the MRP, the selling price, because it is finally being sold at 8,400, not at 12,000. So 9% of 8,400. So that's 8 into 9, 720 and 36. So that's at 756. SGST will also be 9% of rupees 8400, which is again the same amount, 756. Keep in mind the CGST and SGST will always be equal, always. And the last part, amount of bill. So what will be the total amount of bill? The total amount of bill will be the selling price plus the GST. So in this case, selling price is 8,400 and GST in this case is 756 plus 756. So 756 plus 756 at 8,400 plus 14, 15, 12. Correct, 15, 12. So that's equal to rupees 9,912. Perfect. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question that I solved is question number 2. Let's look at question number 2. Question 2 says, in the following transaction from Delhi to Jaipur. So this is from Delhi to Jaipur. Some geography involved. Delhi is a separate state. Jaipur is a part of Rajasthan. So we are looking at interstate transfer. So if it is interstate, what are we talking about? We're talking about IGST. Do we have any CGST? No. Do we have any SGST? No. So this is 0 and this is 0. Now let's read the question and figure out what all we need to calculate. So MRP is given equal to rupees 50,000. Discount percent is 20%. GST rate, GST percent is 28%. So we need to calculate the discount. So the discount will be 20% of what? 20% of the MRP, which is 20% of 50,000. That's 500 into 20, that's 10. So that's rupees 10,000 discount. That's a lot of discount. What is the selling price? Selling price will be rupees 50,000 minus rupees 10,000, which is equal to rupees 40,000. Perfect. CGST we've already calculated. SGST we've already calculated. IGST. Now IGST is 28% of the selling price, which is 28 upon 100 into 40,000. 00 goes, so that's 28 into 40. So that's 80, 32, that's 112. So 11,200. Let me check. 80, 132, that's with 20. Perfect. So this is rupees 11,200. That's my IGST. And the final question, amount of bill. So amount of bill will be what the manufacturer gets, which in this case is 40,000, plus the tax which the government gets, that's rupees 51,200. Perfect. So let's move on to the next question. The next question that we do is question number 3. I have the basic table ready. Let's see what the question is. Question says a computer mechanic in Delhi charges repairing costs from 5 different people A, B, C, D, E with certain discounts. Perfect. The repair cost and the corresponding discounts are given below. Perfect. If the GST is 18%, so GST is 18%. Perfect. GST is 18%. Find the total money including GST received by the mechanic. Perfect. So GST will be received by the mechanic and then he will have to pay the GST to the government because it's not the money that he's making, he's collecting GST on behalf of the government. So let's look at it. 5,500 and the discount is 30%. So if it's a 30% discount, then how much is he paying? Well, so for A, he's paying 70% of 5,500, which is 70 upon 100 into 5,500, that's 00, that's 35, 385, so that's 3850, 3850. Let me change the color. So that's 3850. Perfect. So the items that I'm writing, now let me just change the color. So that's 3850. 6250. Perfect. For B, so B, the selling price will be 40% gone, which means he's paying 60%. So 60% of 6250, which is 60 upon 100 into 6250, 625 into 6, that's 3600, 3750. Perfect. 3750. Perfect. The next one, 4,800 with a 30% discount. The C is 30% discount, which means he's paying 70% of 4,800. That goes, so 48 into 7, that 2,856. So 560, they are 336. That 3360. This SP obviously is in rupees, and we will be calculating GST in rupees. Next, D. D is 20% gone, which means he's charging 80% of 7200. 0000, 7 8s are 56 with 16, so 576. So this is 5760. And then the last one, 3,500, and he's paying how much discount? 40%, which means he's being charged 60% is what he will get. So we have 180 to 10, so that's 2,100. Perfect. Let's read the question. Are they asking me to calculate finally the total individual GST, or do they want me to calculate the total GST? Yes, they want me to calculate the total GST on each service. Is the GST rate is different? No, GST rate is the same. So I don't need to calculate individual GST. My request, read the question and do not waste time in calculating individual GST, because they don't want individual GST, they don't want the total GST, and since the rate is equal, which means you can just add this up and then calculate 18% on the total. So let's add this up, 0, 12, 22, so that's 2, that's 10, 17, 20, 27, 28, so that's 8, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 15, 18, so that's 18,820. So total SP is equal to rupees 18,820. And what will be the GST? GST will be equal to 18% of rupees 18,820, which is 18 upon 100 into 18,820. 0 goes, 0 goes. Now this is a calculation which we need to do. So 1882 into 18. 8 into 2, 16. 8 8 is 64 and 1, 65. 8 8 is 64 and 6, 70. 8 1 is 8 and 5. 15056 2881 67833. So this is rupees 3387.6. Is there anything wrong in this? Yes. Since we are talking about money, you need to write answer up to 2 decimal places. So I repeat, since this chapter is only about money, you will need to write answer up to 2 decimal places. So my total GST is rupees 3387.60. And let's read the question. Find the total money including GST. So total bill amount will be equal to rupees 18,820 plus rupees 3387.60, and it will be 0.60, 7, 10, 11, 12, 11, 12, 2. So rupees 22,207.60. So all this question involved was some basic arithmetic of percentage. Let's move on. The next question that we solve is question number 5. So let's look at question number 5. So question 5, find the amount of bill for the following interstate. So the question clearly tells you it is interstate. So if it is interstate, what are we looking at? We are looking at IGST. Perfect. So how much will be the CGST? 0. How much will be the SGST? 0. Perfect. We got the basic question correct. Now let's read the question. The GST rate is 18%. So GST is 18%. Now GST rate depends on what product it is. For example, if you're looking at essential items like atta, dal, rice, sugar, salt, the GST rate either is 0 or is minimal up to 5%. And if you're looking at luxury items like, for example, an air conditioner, car, jeans, then the cigarettes, alcohol, then the rate charge is much more, much more. So let's look at this question now. So we have quantity. So now this question now has not just one MRP of 1, you're looking at this total quantity. So we will need to calculate basically more calculations of calculating total MRP and then calculating discount. So I have two options possible. Quantity is given, MRP of each item is given, the discount percentage is given. So I have option 1, which is I calculate final SP of 1. So in this case it will be, if 10% is the discount, so this is for, let's call this A, B and C. So for A, my final SP will be, if 10 is gone, then will be 90% of 420, which is 9 upon 0 into 420, 0, 0, 0, 0, at 360, 378. For an option 2 would be, you calculate the total MRP, which means you first multiply 35 into 420 and then you do 90% of it, whichever way works best for you. I would prefer doing option 2 because multiplying with these numbers becomes slightly more difficult compared to multiplying this, because this is 5 and 0, so it will be easier to multiply. So I will always prefer option 2, which is I calculate total MRP and then use the discount. You are welcome to use whichever method, but I personally prefer the second method. So let's look at this. So that's 35 into 420. I have, let's check. So 42 into 35, 10, 21, 6, 12, 0, 7, 4, 1. So that's 14,700. Perfect. This is 47 into 6. That 240, 42, 282. Perfect. That's 282 with 2 zeros, and 20 into 350. That 35 into 270 with 3 zeros. No, not 3, 2 zeros, 1 and 1. 7,000. Perfect. So what will be the final SP? So for A, my final SP will be 90% of 14,700, which is 90 upon 100 into 14700. So that's 147 into 9, 7 9s are 63, 36 into 42, 13, 1323. So that's 13230. For the second one, for B, it will be 10% gone, which means 90%. So 90 upon 100 into 28, 200, 0, 0 goes, 0, 0 goes. That's 282 into 9, that's 18, 72, 173, 25. So 2538, 25380. And for C, my final will be 20% discount, which means 80% of 7,000. That's 7 8s are 56. That's 5,600. Perfect. So what do I need to calculate? I need to calculate the final amount. So let me calculate the total. So first let's take a look at the total SP. That's 0, 8, 3, 11. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 10, 13, 14 and 4. So that's so total SP is equal to rupees 44,210. GST is equal to 18% of 44,210. Now I need to do a big calculation. 4421 into 18, 8, 16, 32, 33, 35. 1, 2, 4, 4. Let's check 8, 16, 32, 33, 32, 35. Perfect. So 8, 7, 5, 9, 7. So 7, 9, 5, 7. Perfect. So this is, where is my marker? Yes. So it's rupees 7957.80 because this is being divided by 10. Again, I need to remember that I need to write 2 decimal places and the final bill amount. So total bill amount will be equal to 44,210 plus 7957.80. That's 0.80761 2 and 5. That's 52,167.80. Difficult? No, not at all. Just that it takes time to do these calculations. So let's move on. Let's solve the next question. Next question I'm solving is question number 6. So you will keep getting different kinds of questions where the discount will keep changing, individual price will keep changing, sometimes you'll have a quantity. So that's where it is. So let's look at this question. Find the amount of bill for the following intrastate. So we are looking at intrastate, which means within a state. So we have CGST and we have SGST, exactly half and half. And is there any IGST? No, IGST is 0. So let's look at this question. So question 6 says MRP is 12,000, discount 30%, and the CGST is given. Oh, so if it's only CGST is given, what about SGST? Also, they are trying to trick us. They haven't told us the value of SGST, but how much will be SGST? Well, it will also be 6% because it's exactly the same. So let's first write the GST percent. If this is 6, then GST percent will be 12. If this is 9, then this will be 18. If this is 14, it will be twice of it, which is 28. If this is 2.5, it will be 5. I repeat, why is it 12? Because this is only CGST. SGST will exactly be the same as CGST, which is also 6%. So that's why we get double of this: 12, 18, 28, and 5. So let's calculate the SP. So SP is 12,000 with 30% discount, which means, let's again give this a name so that it's easier for us to check. This is A, B, C, D. So for A, SP will be 70% of 12,000, so which is 8400. Perfect. For B, it will be 20% gone, so 80%. So 80 upon 100 into 15,000, which is 15 into A, that's 120, that's 12,000. Perfect. The next one is for C. I found my marker. Perfect. C. It is 30% gone, which means 70 upon 100 into 9500. So that's 63, 35. That's 6650. And now for D, 40% gone, which means I have 60 remaining into 18,000. That's 00, 60, 48, that's 108. So that's 10,800. Perfect. We've calculated the GST rate. Can I add this up total first? So this is total 0, 5, 14, 18. That's 9, 10, 17, 27, that's 37,850. Perfect. So this is 37,850. Now, can I calculate the total GST at some percentage? No, because the GST rate is different, so I'll have to calculate individual GST. So for A, GST will be 12 upon 100 into 8400. I have done this calculation earlier, so I'm just writing the final answer. This is 1008. For B, it will be 18% of 12,000. This is 18 into 12, that's 180, 36, so 216. So 2160. For C, it will be 28% of 6650, and this is 1862. And the last one for D, it is 5% of 10,800, 00, that's 540, that's 540. So total GST is, let's add them up, that's 10, that's 10, 16, 17, and that's 55. So that's 5570. So the total SP is equal to rupees 37,850, and total GST is equal to rupees 5570, and the final bill amount will be equal to, add them up, and will be rupees 43,420. Let's look at quickly question 7 as well. So let's look at question 7. Question says, for the data given above in question 6, find the amount of bill for the interstate transaction. Now, in case this was happening as interstate, what will we have? We will have a separate CGST and an SGST, which basically is the total GST. What is the rate? The rate still remains 12, 18, 28, 25. So will anything change? No, nothing will change. Total bill will still be rupees 43,420. The only difference will be there will be no CGST or SGST. There will be no such component. This will be known as IGST for question 7. Perfect. Please also notice that in this question, I did not calculate CGST and SGST separate. Why? Because I did not want to waste my time. Do they want me a separate calculation for CGST and SGST? No, so that's why I didn't calculate. Let's move on. Let's solve the next question. The next question being question number 9. So let's look at question number 9. Question 9 says, a national trading company Meerut made the supply in UP. So Meerut to UP, again some to Noida, again some geography required. So this is intra-state within UP. So what happens in intra-state? We have separate CGST and SGST. Perfect. So CGST and SGST, and IGST is 0. Perfect. So let's read the question. Quantity is given, MRP is given, discount is given, and the total GST is at 12%. So GST is 12%. Let's calculate. So let's again give this quantity object's name. So let's, for A, total MRP will be 225 into 20, which is 445. Yes, no, not 445, 450, 450. So 4500. For B, it is 30 into 320, which is 96. That's 9600. For C, it is 12 into 300, the 36, the 3600. And for D, it is 40 into 25, the 25 into 4, that's 100. So that's 10,000. But this is just the MRP, not the selling price. So let's calculate the selling price. Now for A, 40% discount, which means he's being charged 60%, 60 by 100 into 4500. I hope you again notice I'm using option 2, where I first calculate the total MRP, only then I find the discount. Otherwise, I find it slightly more complicated, because The discount of 30% would be 96 rupees discount, and then my multiplication will become difficult. So here, that's 60 into 45, that's 24, 30, so 27, that's 2700. So that's 2700. For B, we have 30% discount, which means 70 is being charged. 70 by 100 into 9600 goes 6342. That's 767. So 6720. Next is 50% discount. So he's being charged 50%. 50 by 100 into 3600. That's 1800. And the last one for D, 40% discount, which means charged is 60, and this is 10,000, so which is 6,000. Perfect. What is the total GST? Oh, GST is common, which means I will have to calculate. So let me just erase some part of it, because I will need the total, right? So I don't need to calculate individual GST, because they don't want an individual GST. Let me just add this up. So total will be equal to 0. This is 3600. So that's 0, 12, 17, 2700, 6720, 1800, and 6000. Oh, why am I adding this? This is the MRP. I didn't sell it at this price. I sold it at SP. So that's 0, 2, 14, 22, 2, 4, 10, 18, 24, 27. That's 15. So that's 7, and this is 1. Let me just add this up again. 1, 2, 14, 22, 2, 8, 10, 18, 27, 17, 220. That's correct. And GST is 12%. So 12 by 100 into 17,220. So that's 0 goes 1722 into 12. That's 4, 4, 14, 4, 7 to the 14, and 3. This is 2271, 466, 2066.4. This is rupees 2066.4, because this is being divided by 10. Again, reminder, you need to write decimal up to 2 places. So final bill will be equal to rupees 17,220 plus rupees 2066.40. That's 0.40. That's 6. 6 and 2, 8. 0 and 2, 2. That's 9, and this is 1. So rupees 19,286.40. Let's read what they want me to calculate. Find the total bill amount. So this is our total bill amount. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next question. The next question that we do will be question number 10. So let's look at question number 10. Messrs. Ram Traders, Delhi. So provided the following services in Agra. So this is from Delhi to Agra, which means we are looking at interstate. Perfect, which means we have IGST. And do we have any CGST? No. Do we have any SGST? No. So this is 0. We've got our basic question correct. Let's read the question. Number of services, 8. Cost of each service. So this is for each, which means this is for one. I will have to calculate the total cost. So in fact, I shouldn't be writing it as MRP. I should be writing this as cost, because this is a service. Perfect. And is there any discount? No, there is no discount. So there are separate GST rates, and this time there's no discount. Let's again call this some name so it'll be easier for us. B, C and D. So for A, what is my total cost? 8 into 680. That's 48 and 64. So 564. Right. Not 564. 4854. So 544. Right. Therefore B will be 12 into 320. So 32 into 12, 4623, 483. So that's 3840. Perfect. And for C, let's go for C. For C will be 10 into 260. This one is simple, 2600. For D, it will be 16 into 420. Let's calculate. 42 into 16, the 6 2s are 12, 25. 2, 4, 2, 7, 6. So 672. So this is 6720. Find the amount of bill, which means I have to calculate separate because I just can't total this up because each object is being charged at different GST. So let me just total the total cost first. So this is 0, 8 and 2, 10, 13, 20, 26, 2, 8, 10, 18. So this is 18,600. Perfect. Now let's calculate GST. So for A, it is 5 upon 100 into 544. 25 or 544 into 5. 20, 22, 25, 27. Perfect. 272. For B, it will be 12%. So 12 upon 100 into 3840. Let's calculate. 384 into 12. 8, 16, 7, 4, 8, 3. 8, 10, 16, 416. So that's 4608 with the one decimal. Again, I need to remember to put an extra 0 because this is money. For C, I can erase what I don't need because I've already done this calculation, so I need some space. Perfect. So let's move on. For C, it is 18%. So 18 upon 100 into 2600. That 26 into 18. That's 6 is a 48, 4, 20, 6, 2, 8, 6, 4. So that's 468. And for D, it is 12 upon 100 into 6720. So 672 into 12, 4, 4, 12, 13, 276, 4608. 806.40. Again, remember to write 2 decimal. Let me add this up. This is 0.20. 1 take. So that's 1 extra. 3 with 14, that's 17. So 7, 1 extra. That 8, 14, 20. That's 0 with 2 carry. That's 4, 8, 12, 20. That 20, 8, 16, 18, 20. Perfect. So final bill will be equal to rupees 18,600 plus rupees 2007.20, which is rupees 20,607. 20,607.20. Perfect. Let's move on to the next question. The next question that we do is question number 13. So let's solve the next question. Question 13. So question 13 is, Mr. Pankaj took health insurance policy for his family and paid 900 as GST. So SGST paid is equal to rupees 900. Perfect. Find the total annual premium including GST paid by him for this policy. GST is 18%. So why is this being talked only about SGST? What happened to CGST? Because SGST and CGST go hand in hand. CGST and SGST are always equal and they are always together. So we write, since SGST is rupees 900, therefore CGST is also equal to rupees 900. Therefore total GST, which is equal to CGST plus SGST, will be equal to rupees 1800. So this person paid 1800 as GST, which is 18% of the total. So 18% of the bill is equal to rupees 1800. In this case, what is the bill? In this case, the bill is insurance premium. So 18% of the insurance premium is 1800. So what is the insurance premium? So 18 by 100 into insurance premium is equal to 1800, which means insurance premium is 1800 into 100 upon 18. 100 is equal to rupees 10,000. So this is a reverse question. Earlier we were given all these questions, we were given the bill amount and we had to calculate the CGST and SGST. In this case, we've been given the GST, not even the GST. We've been given the SGST amount. From here, first we needed to calculate the CGST. That's our step 1. Step 2, we needed to calculate the total GST. Step 3, we had to calculate the insurance premium by using again what's it called, percentage that we learned in class 6 or 7. Let's move on. What else do they want us to find? Find the total annual premium including GST. So including GST. So total premium including GST will be equal to the insurance premium plus the GST, which is rupees 11,800. Now some young time, since we are talking about health insurance, I think health insurance is mandatory for everyone. As in when you grow old, not old, you grow up, which means when you start earning, you need to buy a health insurance for your own. You know the cost of health checkups and the medical costs are rising so much, and especially these days when you have newer diseases which just crop up. I think you should buy a health insurance as soon as you grow up. And my request, please check with your parents if they have their health insurance or not. And also check if you covered in that. So let's move on to the last question of this exercise. And the last question that I do with you is question number 14. Mr. Malik went on a tour to Goa. He took a room in hotel for 2 days at the rate of rupees 5,000 per day. Okay, so rate per day is rupees 5,000. On the same day, his friend John also joined him. Okay, the hotel provided an extra bed charging at rupees 1,000. So extra is per day is rupees 1,000. So then this becomes 6,000. This happened on the same day, which means 6,000 is the money that he paid each day. How much GST at the rate of 28% is charged by the hotel in the bill to Mr. Malik for both the days? So total bill for 2 days will be equal to 6,000 into 2, which is rupees 12,000. Now what will be the GST? GST is calculated at 28%. So GST will be equal to 28% of 12,000. Perfect. Yes, so that's 12 into 28. Am I correct? Let's see, 8 was a 16, 56, 8, 2, 6, 3, 336. So this is rupees 3360. Is this calculation correct? Let me just check once. 3360. Yes, that's the correct calculation. What do we need to calculate? How much GST? So they don't want the final bill amount, they just want the GST amount. So the homework questions, or the questions that you should solve on your own, are question 4, question 8, question 12, and question 15. Thank you.